not a podcast.
This is 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 not a podcast, but it's a broadcast on IG and YouTube to make y'all laugh. To make y'all laugh.
And some real life shit.
To make y'all laugh.
Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Holly Boogs.
Yeah, it's your boy Watts. It's your boy Grizzly Green.
And this is not a podcast.
Let's go. Special guest in the
Today we
building.
got special guest in the building. Nat in the building.
Hey guys.
What's going on, Nat?
Hey.
What's going on?
Super excited to be here.
Thank you for coming. We appreciate
Thank you for having
Take
me.
all your time.
And this is my homegirl, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's my
Dope,
peoples,
dope,
man.
dope.
Really
Known
good
each other
seeing
for
you.
a minute.
A
right?
long time,
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, I know your dad, your brother.
Yeah.
So shout out
Shout out
to
to
them.
the fam.
Shout out to the family.
Thank you.
So Nat, if you're familiar with the show, how we like to open up is for the viewers that are not familiar with you, just tell us a little bit about you, give us an introduction, where you're from, what you got going on.
Okay, so my name is Nat. I am 34 years old with a beautiful 8-year-old on the spectrum. I used to be a medical assistant for 8 years, and my daughter got diagnosed with autism 2 years ago at 6 years old, which is actually very late for girls. Okay. So after she got diagnosed, I felt like everyone was just like feeding me information, and I was like, how do I know for sure that they're telling me exactly what I need to do for her, the resources that she needs? So with that, I ended up very pouring into her a lot and just educating myself. And then I changed my career from medical assistant to becoming her behavioral therapist.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
And because of my journey, I decided that I wanted to create a brand from it, which is called Nat in Your Corner.
Nat in your corner.
And now I support parents going through the same journey from beginning to end, which if they need help getting their therapist, even finding the therapies that their insurance accepts and things like that, filling out paperwork for them, going into IEP meetings with them too.
Damn, salute you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
That's
very
huge.
admirable.
Hell yeah, that's
Thank
huge.
Thank you.
So my question to you, when you mentioned that your daughter, she got diagnosed at 6.
Yeah.
That was very late for girls. How does that usually happen? They get diagnosed earlier, or?
So boys are actually diagnosed earlier. They're usually diagnosed at 2 years old. And what I'm trying to really fix, and I hope I can make changes with that in the system, is the rubric that they're using right now is of a male white boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because of that, girls are missed. And then they just chalk it up to, they're just a little more emotional. It's probably, they're getting a little older, and then they miss their diagnosis. And unfortunately, because of that, that derails them from progressing. And I felt like that did affect my daughter in a lot of ways.
Damn, yeah. Because I was going to say, because I heard a while ago that it's not common in girls. Is it because it's being missed,
it's
right?
being missed. It is very common in girls. And
Wow.
And even so, I was actually working at a pediatrician when I started to notice she wasn't meeting her milestones. And even the doctor, which was my boss, we had an amazing relationship. He was dismissing me. He was like, I think you're just seeing what you want to see because of where you work. And I was like, okay, that's cool. But at the same time, you saw her for 10 minutes. I'm with her 24/7.
Right. Yes.
So I'm very proud of myself that I did advocate for her the way I did, and I fought for her. And it didn't take until going into the school system that we met an amazing teacher, her kindergarten teacher, who I'll always be in debt to. And she got the ball rolling for us.
Wow. Shout out to the teacher, man.
So what are some of the signs you can look for to know if they're on the spectrum or not?
So the main ones are the lack of eye contact. A lot of kids don't like to make eye contact with people. The touching, I saw a lot. And then Sienna wasn't meeting her milestones. Okay. So Sienna didn't speak until she was about 4 years old. And that wasn't even forming sentences. So now I'm dealing with a kid who's pulling out their hair. She can't let me know what's going on.
Getting sick and stuff like that. And you don't know. Yeah.
Even so when we went into daycare, I'm like, wow, this is really bad now. Because God forbid something happens and she can't even vocalize that to me. Yeah. And things were happening. She would come back crying some days, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening, because she was having a good day, according to them.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow. Yeah, that's definitely tough.
Tough.
That's definitely tough.
Yeah, and you feel like you're failing as a parent, because you're like, I know I'm trying to help you as much as I can, but I didn't have all the education I have now.
Right. And was this your first child?
Yeah, my first one.
First child. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would just think what I was gonna say too is so what are some of obviously you have to deal with being a spectrum, not being able to vocalize stuff. But what are some of other maybe the challenges you also had to deal with? Being that it's your first child, right? So you probably you don't have really any experience at all, and now you have to deal with a child who's on the spectrum, which I'm sure you have to get a little more patience and have a lot more,
yes.
nurturing there. So
and I definitely had no patience before Sienna. So what I had to deal with is even like I feel like being Hispanic, you know, everyone has to put in their 2 cents and give an opinion.
Yep.
So we would be at barbecues, and at that time, Sienna's not diagnosed yet. She's flipping out. She used to throw, like, if she saw like a soda, she would throw it at somebody. She's pulling her hair. She wants to go. And I had no idea that had to do with sensory. Now the food's coming out.
Yep.
The smells are starting to bother her.
The music.
A lot of people are starting to get there. And I'm chalking it up to she's just misbehaving. And I had so many people in my ear. And it got to a point where I was embarrassed to go out.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm just not even going to do it to myself. I'm not going to do it to her. And we ended up staying inside for a very long time.
Yeah.
Wow.
I lost friends because of that too, because I felt like they weren't understanding of the situation.
Right.
Yeah. And to go off what you were saying earlier, a lot of the misinformation, everyone putting in their 2 cents. I'm pretty sure a lot of people saying, "No, don't worry about it, girl. She's just fine.
Yeah.
She's this.
She'll
she's
get
good.
over
Oh, she doesn't
She'll
look,
get over
oh, she
it.
doesn't
Yeah.
look like she has it.
She doesn't look like she has
Yes,
it.
Yo,
that's the famous
that's
one.
the
I'm like,
same-
what is she
right.
supposed to look like?
Right. What does it look like?
Yeah.
And like you said, they're basing it off of one standard. There's no other factors
Yeah, there's no other
involved.
rubric for them.
Yeah.
And that sucks so much. And even I was just reading a book about a girl who got diagnosed at 33 years old. And she was saying how even like she has other conditions and they were missed because of the same reason. They're like, oh, she's just being dramatic. She's just being emotional
Being
about
a girl.
it. Yeah, being
Yeah.
a girl basically. And that's what happens to them.
It's crazy.
Are there like scientific what's the word?
Explanations for that? Like, is it genetic?
Oh, no, like how? Yeah,
So,
on the spectrum.
right now there's no proof as to where it's coming from. There's ideas, like people think it's the diet.
Okay.
So for instance, red dye, orange dye is like a big thing with kids on the spectrum.
Okay.
And unfortunately, my daughter just sticks to orange dye.
Okay.
So that's all she consumes, but it has to do with like the gut too. They say sometimes like if where you're living, the mold, because I've heard cases where like kids were fine up until they were 1. They were talking and everything, and then they just changed. So right now, no one really knows where it's coming from. Yeah.
Wow.
I know it could be genetic. I did have a kid I was working with that the mom told me she did blood work and it was coming from both sides.
Oh wow. Do you have anyone in your family?
We have her Sienna's little cousins, but adult wise, I think there were a few missed.
There's a few missed.
Because it was a different time too
Yeah.
back then. That
Right.
didn't.
It was just this person
Yeah,
is
yeah.
just
They'll grow out. They'll grow out of
Put
it
some-
or
Yeah,
some shit.
exactly.
Give him some
Or they're just,
some Robitussin.
Robitussin or some Bengay.
Some
Good,
Vicks.
yeah,
Some Vicks
yeah.
on it.
or they're just
Spanish shit.
misbehaving. At
Yeah.
this, like when they're having their meltdowns and things like that.
Hispanic.
I was just telling my parents, I was like, guys, I don't mean to like, I'm not putting blame on them. I was like, things happen, but I do feel like I was missed because a lot of things with my daughter, I'm like, I used to do that. Oh my God, I used to do the same thing. And now I'm starting to feel like I was missed. And I don't blame them because it was a different time.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't looking for that. They thought that my thing was delayed. So they had me doing like basic skills where I would come out of a class and get taught like 30 minutes extra on like math and reading and things like that. But they were completely missing like something way more important.
Do you think that, especially being like Hispanic family, whatever, do you think that it comes from almost a sort of embarrassment too?
Yeah.
Or
When
shame.
When I first decided to do my content with my daughter, I remember my mom was not on board. She's like, no, maybe we shouldn't say that. And that's always a thing I feel within like
It's a stigma.
Hispanic
Yeah,
families.
especially Hispanic, right.
It's not even just like mental health. It's every sickness. No, don't say anything.
Yeah.
Like, why are we not talking about it, vocalizing it more? We have people in my family who were born, unfortunately, deaf and mute. And nobody ever learned sign language for them. Not their parents, not their siblings. Like, that's
because
so mean.
they kept it under. Yeah.
And they were like, oh, we
They
understand
don't
what
wanna-
they're saying. They don't need anything. And I was like, I don't want to do that to my daughter. I don't want to just put her in, like, confide her into this corner, put her in this box, and, like, it's a secret. And now I'm so proud because, like, even my aunts, like, their phone, like, rang one time. They're like, I'm sorry, I didn't put it on vibrate. I know she doesn't like loud sounds. And that goes a long way for us. Like, thank you so much.
Right.
Damn. Yeah, that's
Understanding.
amazing, man.
Like you say, you bring understanding and awareness to people that may not know what's going on.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
And I was talking about Al, like there's different levels
Yeah.
where we was like we seen someone on
Yeah,
on
like
Instagram.
social media or something like that.
The son was punching her.
Yeah.
And
like,
she's taking a punch and trying to grab him and
I've seen
relax
crazy
him,
things,
relax
yes.
him, and then she'll punch again. And that's a tough situation because you get frustrated.
you have to,
or,
like,
you know,
even with the
you
kids
gotta-
that I have to constantly be reminding myself, okay, they're not doing it on purpose. They didn't mean, because I had a girl who would just like bite me, and I'm like, okay, no, it's fine. You're fine. Like they didn't do it on purpose, but it is hard. And imagine like as a parent, you're like, oh my God, I'm trying my best, but they're still like beating me up.
Right.
But I tell parents like all that is a form of communication. Like that's usually the nonverbals that have those behaviors, and they're trying to communicate something to you. Yeah. So like just look for the signs, like see what they're trying to tell you.
And I salute you because obviously it's not easy to deal with, you know, and a lot of parents could just give up or become depressed themselves. And what you did was the exact opposite. You took it and said, you know what, I'm gonna make it known to everyone if I could help people, because you're not alone. You know,
exactly.
your daughter's not the only one that has this, you know, and you created the awareness. And I really do salute you for that.
Thank you.
I agree. Because a lot of people need that.
Thank
They
you.
need you.
They need you for real.
That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to create a safe space here in Hudson County, because I see so many parents now too. The language barrier, like they don't even feel comfortable asking for help at this point, because they're like, oh, I don't even know like the words, how to ask for it. Right. So the kid that I work with, actually his mom, I was like, do you know what I do? And I was able to sit in like her IEP meeting and help them.
So what is IEP meeting for?
So an IEP meeting is basically like a plan for them. Okay. So like my daughter's plan, I'll give you an example. She gets extra time on her tests, on her work. She has unlimited absences because she does have days, you know, where her meltdowns are get the best out of her. And I'm not going to send her like that with that type of attitude. And just things like that they need, like the classes that they're in, if they can handle general, if they have to be in special ed. And things like that. So a lot of parents don't know the rules. I mean, not the laws, basically, and their rights. And they're just saying, okay, and their kids need more. Yeah. And then because of that, like the kid that I just went to, I felt so bad because like he can't even read at 10 years old. Wow. Like what happened? And he fell between the cracks because mom and dad don't speak English. Sure. So every time they sat in a meeting, they were sitting just listening and not asking questions, not giving their opinions on what he needs. Yes.
You want me to fix your headphones?
Yeah, could you? I'm so sorry. It's like falling off. Thank you so much.
As also the video guy
like,
and the audio guy of the show. I could take off this though. That could be like my headband.
No, well, if you want to keep it on. So
I think I'm good like this.
Yeah,
way better. Oh, way better. Thank you so much.
No problem.
You guys saw me on the struggle bus.
I don't want to stop your thought. I had to wait till we had a clear space.
Oh, so the IEP. So you sit down with the actual parents and create a program.
So you're sitting down with the child study team. Okay. So I'm able to go into school with them and actually sit down and see what they need. So I have a conversation with the parents prior to going into this meeting. I ask them, what do you think your child needs? I look over their IEP meeting that they had prior. And then from there, we go to the meeting and I talk to whoever like the child study team, sometimes the principal's in there, and then we go from there.
Nice, man. That's so very good.
No, that's very honorable.
I got certified as a parent coach too.
Nice.
Thank you.
Drop a ball for that, bro.
It's a tough job, man.
It is. Like, I can imagine the patience that you must have to do.
I got a lot of patience.
You know, especially with like you're not only dealing with your child, which is your child, so you have gonna more have patience automatically. But now you have helping other children that they're not even your children. You gotta have the same amount of patience. Willingly
going outside of your child to help other children going through the same thing.
And a lot of people, like, they don't think it's a lot because when you're with these kids, they're only getting approved for 2 hours. I was like, but you don't know how draining those 2 hours are. It's so much. And then I have to go right back into being a mom for a special needs kid too. So I'm getting it from like all different angles.
So it's draining, but yet
so rewarding.
It's so rewarding, fulfilling.
Knowing that I'm able to create like this world for her and making it so much more better and having people understand like her situation too.
Yeah.
And I've seen her changes, like her confidence this year just went up like
let's go
100 times.
Let's go.
Like I have someone in my family that's on the spectrum, and I seen it more younger, but now that he's older, it's like it looks like he's not even on the spectrum no more. You know what I'm saying? Just like I was saying, certain things.
He's in therapies. Do you know?
He does. You know what's his therapy? He likes to skateboard, and he likes like that, and he sits down with somebody.
Yeah.
But his thing is sports.
My daughter's thing.
He loves
my daughter's is music. That's her superpower. That's what we call it.
So he loves it. Like it's like a different person when you see him skateboard, or you see like the enjoyment. But then there's when reality Strike is like a different.
Yes.
But he's better. He's
like
better.
you've seen the transformation.
Yes, definitely seen
I
it.
didn't see it at first because obviously I'm with my daughter all day. But then I was like, let me go back and look at videos, and I'm very proud.
Progression.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the question I was kind of getting at. So I know there's no cure, like a magic cure for it, but treatment. Like, what's the progression scale? Like where what steps are you trying to take?
So depending on their level, my daughter's level 1. So where I'm trying to get her is independent enough to be able to live on her own. Because now what I love is, so in Red Bank, which is, I know you guys probably know where that is, like 45 minutes away from here, they're making like little complexes now for kids on the spectrum. And then they would have like an RA like in college, and that would be like watching over them. So like that gives them a chance to be independent.
That's amazing.
So
Actually, I seen that not too long.
Yeah, I know Sienna can get there 100%.
Nice.
Because she's like, even like behind my back, I didn't even know this. When I would go into meetings, I'm like, so guys, I apologize. She can't do like her zipper yet. And like the scissor we're still working with, like, really? And they're like, because she zippers everything up by herself. She is a master manipulator. She knows who she's doing it to.
Of
course, of course.
She knows mommy like will do everything and anything.
Of course.
So
Yes.
why do it herself? Mommy
Yeah,
should do it,
exactly.
So forgive me for my ignorance. I really don't have a lot of intelligence on this particular subject. But is there a where can they get like over it? Or is it always going to be the spectrum, or is it like a where it could get over it?
No, they would never get over it because, like we said, there's no cure for it. But they can get very far, depending on where, like, if their parents have them in therapies and what they're doing for them. Because even besides therapy, you can have all the therapies in place in the world. If it's not being done at home, it defeats the purpose. Yeah.
Because it can't just be there and then not here.
Exactly. Because then they know too, like, oh, look, at home, I don't need to try to say my words because mommy knows what I want already.
So you continue it past
exactly.
past the classes.
And then I wanted to do Sienna, like, be her therapist because I'm like, she's going to get 2 hours with insurance. I can do it 24/7.
Right.
And I think that's why she's gotten so far too.
Wow.
God bless you.
How many kids do you work with? Like, how does it work? Yeah, like parents do you work with?
Right now, I just work with one kid.
Okay.
I'm actually transitioning out of my company. I'm so sad. But it's for a better experience now and a better opportunity. So I'm going to have a new kid, and this one's going to be nonverbal at 4 years old. So I'm going from a 10-year-old who's verbal with no behaviors to now I'm going to get hit. So even that mentally, I have to prepare myself.
What do you think it will be? Well, obviously, nothing is easy, but is that harder, a 10 or a 4-year-old?
No, a 4-year-old is definitely going to be harder.
Okay.
Yeah. Because, like, especially that he can't talk, I'm not going to know what he wants. I'm not going to know, like, if he's comfortable with me.
Right.
So another term we use is called pairing. So for the first 2 weeks, I'm just going to be his best friend. I'm going to give in to everything he wants. I'm going to play every game under the sun until he's comfortable with me, and then I'll start to, like, introduce his programs into the session.
If I'm a parent, how do I go about getting in touch with you or getting my child into that program?
So on my Instagram, I always encourage people to message me. I'm really good about answering back my messages, but also in my bio, I have a link, and on that link, that's what I call my business card, and it has like my email, my phone number, all my socials on it, my Cash App, and things like that. And that's how people have been contacting me.
Okay.
Yeah, God bless you, man.
Thank you you so much.
Because I said, like, again, man, I seen different levels, and then like it's back in the day, our time, like we old and stuff like that. Back in our day,
back in my day,
they was super ignored.
Yes.
Or give them some Ritalin, or give them something, some shit that
I was trying to
or ass whooping,
or ass whooping, a real ass whooping.
I was trying to think back. I'm like, do I remember these kids in school? And I don't. I remember kids being like off to the corner, and we didn't really talk to them.
Yeah,
but
we called them nerds and geeks.
Yeah.
That's like
thinking about it.
Yeah, like we were bullying these kids. Yeah.
But then what about like those classes in school? Some of our friends were in those classes, but they weren't on the spectrum.
Oh my God,
now that I think about it, a few of my friends are probably on the spectrum.
Yeah, but
I know a couple.
But we would think about that,
you
right?
You guys not remember? I felt like a lot. I used to hear, "Oh, I'm going to go to the child study team. I'm going to go."
I forgot the name of the class.
That's literally what it is.
Yeah.
I think it is.
And now we're looking back. Yeah, now we're looking back.
And we would never think that because they were normal with us.
I thought that was like a guidance counselor. I'm like, okay, have fun.
Right.
I thought that's where we pulled the bad kids. We just left them in there.
Oh,
like,
yes.
just like pull the bad kids in there.
So I know you.
Yo, I'm just saying, but that's the way.
it's true.
There was a whole bunch of bad kids.
A lot
in
of
there.
our friends
educated.
were in that alternative class.
Yeah.
That's what it's
Alternative.
class.
That's what it
That's
was.
the name.
Alternative.
That's
Hey, man, where you going? I'm going to the annex. So you already knew. You already knew what that meant. You know?
One teacher the whole day.
Yes. Shout out to
All my people there.
Stanford. Is it Stanford?
Stratton?
Stratton. Yeah, Mr. Stratton.
Stratton.
Yeah, man, I remember him.
Yes.
My guy.
All right, so my question to you, and we kind of answered it before, but now I kind of want to like dive deeper into that. Now it's been diagnosed at a higher level. Do we know why? Like the percentage of where it went from when we were young until where it's at now, or
No, what they like to say is that it's an umbrella and that the spectrum broadened out. So now a lot more people are under it. Because now it's not just autism. Like my daughter alone, she has autism, global delay, anxiety, and which one? And then I think that's it. So global delay, what that is my daughter's 8 years old, but she has a brain of a 5-year-old. So when she talks like a baby. She likes baby shows still. Now that she's starting to have a little bit more comprehension, like watching like live action. So we just got into like Hannah Montana, and she understands like things like that. So I think that's really cute. But at first, I used to tell her, like, we would go to the store, and I'm like, we're not doing baby toys. Like, stop it. But I'm like, you know what? That's what she's comfortable with. Like, I get it. Because the other ones are probably overstimulating for her, too.
yeah, absolutely.
I get it.
Wow.
Is there so you mentioned one of the things being anxiety, right?
Yeah.
How can you, is there a way to tell, right? Is that like, am I just anxious and have anxiety, or am I over anxious and I'm especially
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
I'm saying?
So, because I'm an anxious person all the time.
Right.
But my
spoke
daughter's
about that.
anxiousness takes it like over the top. She
Okay.
gets very fidgety. Her whole body is covered like in scabs because she's picking at herself when she's anxious. So I do think that it's a little bit more sensitive because that comes along with her feelings. I always tell her like she's extra emotional. She feels very strongly. So I think it's like in that sense.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like everybody now, like, you know what I'm saying, since it's more out and open, it's more broad now, everybody's like anxious, you know, on my spectrum.
Exactly,
is like, or is it just like natural
Like, how do you know the
behavior?
difference?
You know what I'm
I
saying?
had
It's
a parent
natural
ask me too, like, what's the difference between a meltdown and a tantrum? I was like, a meltdown isn't they're trying to get like a toy from a store. Like, they're not trying to get a reaction. They're trying to regulate their feelings. Like, they have no
They're
control.
unable to
they have
really,
no control over that. Like, Sienna sometimes, like, I know she's not trying to be a bad girl, but her first reaction is to swing at me, is to kick when she can't regulate her feelings.
Interesting.
Now, like I said, it's different. Like I said,
Every kid is
my
definitely
family
different.
member, it was more like, you know, he's older, but the mindset's younger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to
I
understand.
know everybody
that, you know?
would like at school. They're like, "How old is Sienna? Like 5, 6?" I'm like, "No, she's 8 years old. She's a very tall girl." I was like, "But it's the way that she talks. It's very babyish. It's not completely clear yet." Yeah.
Also, is there like so I also seen instances where they say, you know, people, kids, or you know, adults too, because adults could be on the spectrum as well. They have a very good like sense of like tunnel vision on certain
homing in certain things,
subjects.
Like
that
their superpower.
Right, it's superpower. Which
Yes,
music for her.
Right.
Music,
So
yes.
do you see that often a
Yes,
lot as
with
well?
Sienna, like she can hear a song once and she has the rhythm, the beat,
fire,
like
yo.
everything. It's so cool.
Have you tried to
So
play instruments?
my brother's been on it. He's like, nah, we got to figure it out because there's something that she's good at. I did try piano. I think that was a little too sensitive because I played the piano for 8 years. So I'm like, oh, maybe that's her thing. She said it's the xylophone. And I was like, we can learn how to play the xylophone if that's the case. But she's just good with numbers too. She actually taught herself how to read like maybe 3 years old.
Wow.
So she started like telling us like signs, like reading signs. I'm like, okay, it's a cool story. I was like, you got that from YouTube. Like you're just memorizing it probably. And then she would just keep going and she would grab my books and like read the title. I was like, she can read. And now she's a scholar. Sienna has been on honor roll since last year.
Wow, double bomb. Nice, see? Nice.
Yeah, they're superpowers.
Yeah, I feel like that.
So proud of her.
That's one thing too. Is like you know, people look at it like, oh, they're on the spectrum and have you know their own views
learning
on it.
delay.
Yeah.
But it's like every person I've I heard about that's dealt with that always has like the superpower where if they're really focused on that one thing, they can hone on it, and they're like a genius in that one area.
And that's exactly what she's
Over excel.
She's also
exactly.
ambidextrous. She uses both hands, which I think is so super cool. I'm like, Sienna, how cool is that? Like, she'll cut with the left, but then she'll write with her right hand.
Yeah.
That's super
Gotta
cool.
get a basketball player.
Right?
Left, you know what I mean?
Facts.
And
Facts.
you know what's crazy about that? Talking about superpower, right? People who are on the spectrum, right? They use their brain, well, not the normal way, right? But they kind of unlock certain parts of the brain.
Yes.
Yes.
Like for her to be ambidextrous and for her to like see things that we don't see, they're kind of using different parts of the brains that we're not familiar with. So maybe we're on a spectrum.
Right.
Facts.
No, if you really think about it, right?
They got the whole.
That was something that I read recently too. That like there should be a different way to teach them because they don't learn the same way
That's
that
what I'm
like
saying.
regular people. They learn visually. So like you know how everything's like made in China. They can be architects over here. They can
That's
be
what I'm saying.
taking
It's
things
insane.
apart.
Yeah, it's
like a lot
insane.
of them, they like to take apart like a computer and see why the computer's the way it is. So if they can do all these things, why aren't we giving them a chance?
to do that.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well, maybe we're being too light.
Right.
Yeah, we're like, oh,
They need
can't-
more.
They failed algebra. They can't do it, but they can't do algebra.
Right.
They need like geometry.
Right, they might be on to physics
Yeah.
already.
Yo,
Like, yo,
facts.
we all
Exactly.
passed that shit. Yeah, we passed that shit already, bro.
Exactly.
Exactly. You know.
But because they're going based off of like something like algebra, like, oh no, they're not on the level yet.
So I would like to get a little bit into Nat, the person, right?
Yes.
I would like to
That's
know
good.
how was it be like the challenges of being a parent with a autistic daughter, or on the spectrum, right?
Yeah, on the spectrum.
On the spectrum, sorry. I
But
didn't
you
mean-
could say
it says-
autistic as
okay.
well.
Yeah, I don't wanna offend
No,
nobody.
you're fine.
How was it like knowing that this is like when like knowing this is what I got to deal with? You know what I'm saying?
Like when she got diagnosed.
When she got
you mean?
diagnosed, you know?
So a lot
And
of
how do you still maintain
Right.
you?
Yes.
Right,
Okay. So
yes.
I'm still struggling with maintaining me because I do put her first a lot. I'm like, I want her to be good, even though I know she is all the time. So I do have to find a way to give myself more self-care. But I like to read, and that's me like having like my own time
That's
to
your getaway.
myself.
Your superpower.
Exactly. Like that. Sienna loves to see that. She'll be like, here's your book. I'm like, thank you so much. But I do struggle with it because even like last week, like my brother had wanted me to go out. And I was already just getting in my head. I'm like, you know what? She's going to cry. She's not going to be comfortable there. And I don't know that for a fact, how comfortable she's going to be. But because of that, I feel like I don't complete like my plans. And it sucks because I don't like give her that chance as much as I should. So I feel like that has been like very impactful for me. Because like I mentioned to you guys, I did lose a lot of friendships along the way. Trying to navigate this, trying to figure it out. And also making sure that Sienna was comfortable 100% of the time. Because when she wasn't talking, her thing was energy. So I would go off of like how she felt. So we would go in one of my best friend's houses, and right away she's crying. She's hitting the door that she wants to leave. So I'm like, there's an energy. She doesn't feel welcomed here at this point. So I feel like that has affected me a lot because she's my best friend and my sister right now. And there was you know me. There was a time I was running around with like groups of friends.
Yeah. That's where I first met her at.
Yes.
But I also feel that you need, in order for you to take care of her, you got to take care of yourself
Yes,
as well.
100%.
So-
I can't pour into her if I'm empty. Yes.
Yep. And how often do you get time for yourself? I know you say that you got to pick and choose what you do, but you should prioritize. And how often do you prioritize yourself?
I don't. I really don't prioritize. And I could do it because my husband's amazing. Like, we're really good. Like, our dynamic is so good that we know when to tag each other in. So, like, if I'm doing bedtime and he can hear my voice, like, sort of change, he'll text me and, like,
I
okay,
got you.
switch off. Switch off with me already. So, he's really good about that, too. He's good about, like, letting me have my own time and go out.
Shout out to your husband.
Shout out to John.
Let's go.
But, like, it's just not, I don't like going out. So, I have to figure out a self-care for me because I'm, like, a weirdo. I don't like doing my hair. I don't like doing my nails. So I have to figure out something that like works for me.
For yourself.
Yeah. Reading right now is my go-to.
Dope.
Before we started, you was telling about something going on with in Union City.
Yes.
Want to just elaborate
So
on that?
I am an advocate for Union City as well. I work closely with Brian Stacks and with the superintendent of students, Jerry Perez. And what I do is I just give like some ideas to them of like what the kids might need. So one thing was my daughter's school where like their playground was, it looked like a prison yard. It was like so disgusting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're dealing with kids with behaviors. Like they're going to hit each other. They're going to go into these walls.
Right.
And all they were giving them was like that bag bag of balls from gym.
Oh
like,
my
no, we're not
God.
doing that.
Right.
So I reached out to Brian Stacks. I explained to him the situation. And literally in a week, he had a beautiful playground there ready for them.
Wow.
And it was like catered to sensory friendly, like for them.
Shout out to Brian Stacks.
Brian.
Man. Do your
Shout out to
thing,
him
bro.
always.
Facts. Yeah.
I asked him also on my street. I know there's probably like off the top of my head, maybe 6 kids on the spectrum. And there's ones that they elope, which means that they leave their house. Like they can just open the door and leave. So I had him put the signs, autistic child area there as well.
I think I've seen some of those signs.
Yeah, so if you see them in Union City, shout out to
Oh,
Brian
that's
Stacks.
dope,
Yes.
yo.
Shout out to Brian Stacks. I said
Trying.
that. Put it up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go.
And then right now we are working on putting sensory rooms. Like, you know that how the airports have them now in every school in Union City.
Explain real quick what sensory rooms
So
are.
a sensory room is if these kids are having behaviors, they're having meltdowns, and they're in the classroom and they're kind of like distracting the other kids, and they can cause behaviors on the other kids as
course.
well. They can remove them from the class, and now they're going to go into this room where I want the walls to be spongy too. So if they want to hit the walls, they'll have like a weighted vest where they can calm down.
Feels like someone's holding them,
Yes,
hugging
like a
them.
hug.
Yeah.
Yes, weighted plushies. I want fidgets for them, bean bags in there.
Allow them to decompress
Yes,
it.
Yes.
exactly. And it should be in every single school.
Wow. You've really done your
Yeah,
research.
I was gonna say,
man.
yeah.
Thank
you
you.
really
I've been trying very hard to educate myself.
From what I'm
Thank you.
hearing, I think you could go beyond this area. Like you
agree.
keep going.
That's
you know?
the goal.
Keep going.
I do, because
Take this worldwide. Man.
I've heard West New York. I've heard horror stories of West New York, of like how they're like going over there with these kids. I've heard they're kicking these kids out because they don't have the resources. They don't have the
I believe that.
teachers.
Getting
So
suspended,
I'm
probably.
going there next. Because we're not doing that. Like, how are you? If you have to I don't like to say kick out the kid, but if you have to find, another school for them, totally understandable. Because if the kid has very bad behavior, unfortunately, they can't be in a regular school.
Right, of course.
Now they're going to an ABA school, but the district pays for that if they have to be removed out of the school.
Yeah,
See, these are the-
keep fighting that good
and
fight, man.
and these are the things that people don't.
Yeah, they don't
Right,
know
they
these
don't know, they
facts.
don't know.
They're like, oh, wait, they can go to another school. They just automatically go to, they're going to get homeschooled or no school.
Right.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, some people don't really care. They're just like want them out their hair. So like, all right, well, the school is somebody else's problem. It's not. They're not
Exactly.
really trying to help them. They're just trying to get rid of their problem.
and what you're
Exactly.
trying to do is actually find a
It's actually
solution.
trying to help.
Yes, for all
Exactly.
these kids. Like, they deserve it. Like, at the end of the day, even if they don't have their parent, like, they need somebody in their corner fighting for them, going up to bat for them.
Yeah. Because sometimes, like you said, it's not their parent.
Yeah.
Or sometimes the parents maybe not just know what to do.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't
It's not
know.
them.
They-
Yeah, it's
they-
not
they
It's not
don't
their
know.
fault, because like I said, the kid that I am working with, his mom has put everything in place for him. She's put tutoring, she's put therapy for him, but she doesn't speak English, so she can't do it at home now with him.
Yeah.
So that's where it's defeating the purpose
tough.
now. Yeah, and it sucks because then she feels like she's failing. I'm like, you're not. Like, it's just, it's a sucky situation, unfortunately.
And that's why they come in to save the day.
Yeah,
Save
for
the
real.
day.
And to go off of that, it's like if you got a child that's on the spectrum with a learning curve,
Right.
2 different languages might be too hard for them.
Yes.
Spanish
Oh
at
my
home,
God.
English at school.
100%.
They
you know?
told
So-
me at one point with Sienna, when we first started doing speech, that was a myth. And then when I started working with this kid now, he speaks both languages and he doesn't have all his words. So imagine, you have to now take extra time to process what's being asked of you and now
of what-
figure out, do I have my
translate it.
word in
Right,
English or do I have it in Spanish?
Yeah, I would
Damn.
definitely think that.
Man, that'd be
Facts.
tough.
Yeah, that'd
So
be super
sometimes
tough.
like he wants to answer the question and he thinks he's 100% right. Like the way he looks at me, and it's not his fault. It's just because it's taking him a while to process it.
That's it. She. Bro, shout out to you, man.
Yeah.
Word up,
you.
man.
This is
it's very it's
great conversation.
It's very
I'm so
very
excited.
good
I'm so
conversation,
proud of you.
and it's
Thank
I'm
you.
proud of you too. Like I said, like you may have no Al, we just met
Yeah.
now for the show, but I'm always proud and like down for anybody that's doing anything positive, and
Thank you.
that takes a lot. It's not like that's not an easy thing
Yeah.
to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's
go ahead.
It's a
very
topic that a lot of people don't talk about.
Right, right.
Yes,
Like you said, it's,
that's why I want to make it like more of a conversation, even at home for parents. Like, tell your kids there are different kids, and to be extra nice to them and not to bully them, because that is a thing that happens a lot, unfortunately.
Yeah.
and I seen 60 years old, and they like that.
Right, because a lot of
Yeah.
people,
You know
what I'm
like
saying?
we
Where-
said, there wasn't a lot. Well, forget it.
No, like I said, I've witnessed a 60-year-old with his mom still.
Yeah.
And stuck in that. And this is in the Bronx, and I'm in that one apartment for the rest of my life.
I've
not
heard New
being-
York isn't a great place either with therapies. I heard a lot of people like move to New Jersey.
And like I said,
I believe that.
I grew up, you know how we grew up in New York is there. So like our neighbors, we play in the hallway.
Right.
And you're
Yeah.
seeing that, and you're a younger child, but then you see a real older person that's still playing
Yeah,
Like,
with
yeah.
the kids.
And
yes.
you did not really
Not
understanding what's going on with that.
But
You know what I'm saying?
to us,
That's so
selfishly,
true.
because we don't
We don't-
experienced in that, or we don't
The lack of
knowledge,
education. Yeah, the lack of
education.
And this-
Oh, he's kind of weird.
And then
Right.
getting older
Yes.
to be like, yo, it's
And look, he could have
still
had like
there.
global delay.
yes,
Right,
yes, yes.
I wouldn't even
And he's still alive. God bless him.
Like you said,
Yeah.
it fell through the cracks.
Yeah, exactly. Like I know this kid too. This kid I remember, like he's always stuck with me. I was in school with a kid when I lived back in Maywood, which is right by Paramus, and he always stuck with me. I knew he was always different. I didn't know about the spectrum situation. His sister recently like had reached out to me and was just giving me my flowers, letting me know like, oh, that's so beautiful how open you are and everything. Her brother, he's now 34 years old, my age, has never received therapy.
Wow.
And all those years, he never got therapy.
See?
Fell through the cracks.
Because the parents didn't know the language, they didn't know who to ask, and we were in a primarily white town.
Right.
So there wasn't anybody that you could be like, hey, look, they look Spanish. Let me ask them.
Right.
There wasn't the safe place for them.
Like I said, like we alluded to earlier, you know, it's like I feel like a lot of people like now it's being diagnosed more. So back then, like, you know, even
Yeah.
like it don't sound crazy, but like 20, 30 years ago, I feel like it was not being diagnosed as well. So you could see why there's a lot of older people that
Yeah.
that fell through
And
the
then
cracks. per se.
and people that were diagnosed that are not that are not
in reverse, yeah.
in reverse.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's just so back in I feel like everybody I for real have ADHD.
Yeah.
I can't stay
Yeah,
still.
of course.
I'll start something and I'll go.
I have that for
you
sure.
You see how I get.
I think every
go over here, I
Hispanic
can't-
has that though.
I think everybody
You
does.
can't keep a conversation
See, but that's
going.
that's why we try to get away from that. That's not everybody.
But you see,
Stigmas. We're trying to break
but I feel like
stigmas.
a lot of people from our generation, we have that. We just don't notice it. They
Yeah.
never said it was a problem.
Right, never
You know what I'm
thought- right,
saying?
so
Look, definitely got
It's normal.
ADHD.
I have. I'm a,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I
He'll be
know.
sweeping here, then he was like, hold on, I
I'm
gotta
gonna
mix
go
over
over
here.
here. and
Literally
then-
me.
we were
I'll be
talking
like,
to him,
let me
he wants
clean
to
the
go over here?
bathroom. But you know what would be really fun? What if I just start a new project in my room?
Yo, it's like that. Exactly. Like
And then while you're doing that, it was like, I just thought about it. I gotta cook dinner, so let me just do this real quick.
The dishes are still waiting for
Nothing gets done, right?
yo,
nothing.
look at
Everything
this.
in my house is half-assed. Right?
Yo,
Half started,
you
right?
know where I catch myself
My
doing?
husband always makes fun of me. He's like, "Did you mean to leave that there?" And it's like the broom and like the pail. And I said,
Yo, you know what's
With
funny?
the dust at the bottom.
You know what I catch myself doing? You know when you put the paper towel,
Yeah.
right?
"Oh my god!"
I will go around the table, but I'm like, I can just go here and just whip it
Just
out.
grab it up.
And I would catch myself going around in circles. I'm like, all right.
Making it harder.
Yo, I'm there like, yo, what the fuck? What is going? But those are
And then
little
you're
things.
like, "Yeah, like why am I doing that?"
I
That's
might be
weird.
a little, you know, a little in the sky, but
like, you feel like the boat is missing.
But the boat left a little.
But left a little bit. And I'm trying to swim to that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'll catch myself doing that. Or like what Al said, I'm like, I'm gonna go mix, and then I'm like, yo, I'll grab the broom.
Yeah.
And he's like, but what's wrong? I'm like, it's just, I don't know.
Get
That's
that
literally
moving.
me.
Like, yeah, like he said, like
But
he'll
what
be doing
about Al?
something.
Al won't drop a subject down.
do
Like
you mean?
the guy that knocked on the door when we had the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted to beat him up the whole time. So that's what him.
He don't leave shit alone. He's still got bad about his
Look,
guy.
look, look, he's thinking about it right now.
Honestly, that got me pissed just now thinking about it. Yeah, my man left the show and was
So
like, yo,
I
hold
get
up,
it.
don't worry
It's
about it. I'm going
like
to the door right
always
now.
different
Yeah.
forms.
Like I really believe my whole family has it.
Yeah.
I think so
For
too.
sure.
I think my brother.
But like you said, it's different levels.
Yeah,
It's an
like you know
umbrella.
what? Even too, shout out to my sister. Sorry, JD, but even my sister, I'm so proud of her. So I'm 10 years older than her, but that's my ride or die. That's the
Let's go,
godmother
yeah.
of my daughter
God
too.
bless.
Love her so much. But even her, I feel like me having this conversation, she went and got diagnosed with ADHD. Like, how beautiful is
See?
that? And she felt like something was missing because
Right,
she's
yeah.
like, I'm doing so, like, she's an athlete, she works and everything, she's in school. She's like, I'm doing so good, but I'm missing certain things all the time, or I'm getting overwhelmed. And she went out of her way
You
and
gave the
checked.
courage and the knowledge to go check it out.
Exactly. Like,
Mhm.
oh, it's okay if I do have that to speak on it.
Right.
Felt comfortable open.
Yeah.
Look, I know we got to go.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah,
got
yeah.
one more
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
I got
you got it.
one
Yep.
more thing.
You got it.
Because we're about to go into our favorite
favorite
segment,
segment.
only
Yes,
segment,
okay.
right?
I'm ready.
But do you feel in the same circumstance that some people could be overdiagnosed?
Yes, I do. I actually do feel like that because I don't know if this is like an example, but I do know somebody who reached out to me that their daughter was diagnosed and they just wanted my opinion on
Yeah.
the whole situation. Come to find out, she was not autistic. What she was going through was her parents' divorce, and that was causing behaviors and stuff. And they just said that she was autistic. So for years, that's how they were treating her in
it.
school.
But it was really
It was
stemming from something else.
From something else, just from that. So all she needed was just probably a therapist.
Wow. Yeah. But
All right, it's time, I guess.
I can keep talking.
No, yeah.
Thank
No, it's
you,
been
man.
really
Thank
good.
you, man.
So, like a bug, I mean, Al alluded to, we can get to our favorite segment of the show. Our only segment of the show is Boogie's Famous Five, right? So Boogie's gonna ask you 5 questions. Just give us your best answers. All right, question number 1. Question number 5. We're about to go down.
What's your favorite plate of food that you can eat every day?
Chicken franchise.
Ooh, that was different.
That was different.
We ever got that?
Nah.
Every
never got
single
that
day.
one.
All right, we're just by itself, or would it be what type of pasta?
With
would
the
you-
linguine, and, it has to be over, not separated.
Ooh.
Gosh, you on the plate.
That's
On
type
the
of shit you
plate.
like.
Fire.
All right. Question number 2.
What's your favorite basketball team?
So
asked that one before.
I know that's actually a good question. I'm gonna still say
only one right
Celtics.
answer.
I've always been a Celtics.
This is
because of my brother. He's the one that's like always made me like a Boston fan.
no reason. Still, wow.
That's a good enough reason.
All right. Boston Celtics.
Boston Celtics.
All right, let's go.
I don't know
next,
what to-
baby.
but-
Let's
all
go
right,
next.
Joe
All right, hold on. Question number 5. Question number 5.
It's over. Interview's over. It's done. Cut.
Y fuera.
Nah, everybody's not perfect. All right. Question number 3.
What is your favorite sneaker you can wear every day?
Okay, I don't have a favorite sneaker because I don't even
got
know
some
what
heat right
sneakers.
now. I
But
see
wait,
them.
my sneakers are. Let me fix them. I go by colors.
Okay.
Okay.
So these are.
She got them
these
heat
are
right
just
now,
cute.
so
She got
She got
some
the greens
points
in
on
it.
That's
Okay.
usually what I
like
go
green.
by. I'm like, hey, that looks like it'll match with like a lot of outfits. Perfect.
Okay, there you go.
All right,
Fair enough.
Open.
Yes.
It's a variety.
All right. Question number 4.
Where in the world would you like to go with your family?
I thought you were about to say Carmen San Diego.
The world is
I
covered.
definitely-
Talking about like no money is an issue.
Even
Mess
though
like
no
that.
money is the issue, I definitely want to go to Disney because Sienna's
all
dying
right.
to
There
to
you go.
Disney World,
Okay.
So definitely,
Listen,
that's where I want to go.
why not?
That's the mission right now
That's
to get her
good
to
enough.
Disney.
I like.
Yes.
I just came from Disney like a couple of months
Of
ago.
course he does.
It was great.
I was trying to wait because at first I was going to try it at 5, but I'm like, no, maybe not. Now we can definitely do it because since she is diagnosed, we get to cut lines. Like this is our silver lining.
all right.
right?
He's like, yeah,
we
all
get
right.
parking in the
Yeah.
front. I'm like, yes, now we're going to go and thrive over there.
All right.
And that's the way to do Disney.
Yeah.
Waiting in line.
Oh yeah, because waiting in line ends up
Exactly.
paying ass over there. Fact.
I literally did it to an American Dream. I went, I was like, oh no, my daughter can't wait. I'm sorry. My dad's like, you can do that? I'm like, yeah.
Yo, you see?
Loopholes.
You be knowing none of that. Yo.
Yeah.
All right, question number 5.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
That's a really good question. I hope that I continue making this bigger than just the community right now. Like we were saying, like I want to touch so many different counties, so many different cities, and continue helping these kids and making this world more inclusive for them.
Hey, you know what I think? I think you can do
I think
it.
you do it too.
I think
believe
in
it too.
5 years you're
I
gonna have
agree.
people under you doing what you're doing
hope so.
all around.
I
I
agree.
do want to
I
create that. I
agree.
want a team
100%.
eventually.
100%.
Yeah.
I agree.
Thank you so
I see
much.
that
for real.
Thank you.
All right, man.
really
Well, that's
do.
Boogie's Famous 5. You did great besides the Celtics thing. It was all good. You know what I'm
That's the one
saying?
thing
Whatever.
that we might have to edit that
out. It's going to be 4 questions, man.
You're gonna ask her what's your favorite basketball team? It's gonna be me or Watson in the background saying Knicks.
Yeah, you see, her lips just
Her Knicks moving Celtics and Knicks.
You should definitely do that.
But yeah, that's Boogie's Famous 5. And that's about it. So before we go though,
Yes.
we
Yes.
always like if there's anybody you want to shout out, anything you got
And your
going on, you want to
Instagram.
shout out your Instagram, all that stuff. Right now is the chance to do it.
I don't even. So my Instagram is NatCarbone, but I have an underscore. I think it's 2. I'm hoping that it is. I don't know how many.
We'll find the correct way and we'll put it on.
Yeah.
It'll be in the beginning
I
of
just
the
needed
interview.
it so that I can have that as my handle.
Okay.
And then shout out to my whole family. Shout out to my husband John. Shout out
Shout to John.
to
Salute
my
you guys,
brother
man.
Rob. Shout out to my sister-in-law
Rob's my
Nicole, JD, because without my family, my parents, oh my God, Arelis and Rob, without them, like they are my village. And they are the ones that pushed me, supported me, and got me to where I'm at.
Nice, man. Shout out to the fam, man.
Your brother and father are my guys.
Oh, I love
They're my
them. Shout out
peoples.
to them.
And you already know what it is. It's your boy Holly Boogs.
Yo, it's your boy Watts.
It's your boy Grizzly Green,
And this is not a podcast.
Shout out to
Nat
our
in the
guest Nat in the building. Make sure you holler at her for all
We didn't even do
information.
this.
Hit the
Thank
IG.
you so much.
Peace.
All right, peace.
Thank you.
This is not a podcast.
This is not a podcast.
This is not a